What's up, y'all? Good evening. Where's my background? Oh, right. I have it off for the other scene. How's everyone doing? What's up? What's going on? We're here for another feedback stream. I really need to get instrumental versions of my own songs so I can just use them as background music, because that'd be fun. Chili, yo, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chili944, for the donation. You rock. Hey, what's up, Victini, Shwoo, Jacob Peterson, Zylex, Salty Banana, Lopo, what's up? Coffee Lemon, Ink Demon. Oh, hey, it's your song. D.MP4, George AAP. What's going on, y'all? Instrumental guy. Jar Jalter White. Patronus, how's it going? Annie Land, Era, Toffee Record, Vendango, Lemony Keys, Tiago Murrow, T-New, Norby, what's going on? Adrian. So, yeah, we're here for a feedback stream. This is the January feedback stream. Y'all had, I'd say, most of the month, maybe the last 2 or 3 weeks, to submit tracks in the Discord. I got a lot of submissions. I got like 200 plus submissions. So naturally, we're unfortunately not going to be able to get to all of them. I'm working on a system to make sure it's fair going forward. If if you're not on this one, you'll hopefully probably be in the next one the way I have it set up. So I have we'll be randomly drawing names all night, but I'll be keeping track of who's on this one, and like I said, we'll keep it fair. I don't know who's gonna get pulled until it comes up. So there's no list of who's coming up when. Tercero, thank you. But there will be a list afterwards on the VOD, the playback, so you can see if your song's in here, and they'll be timestamped. You can skip right to it. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. And I'm going to pause my own self there. I'm working on a few fun things for y'all. I'm finishing the Lost Silver song. It's basically done. I'm just like working out the mix on it and stuff, but I have another track I think I'm going to drop before that. It's a surprise. You'll see what it is. It's something we did on stream, believe it or not. It might not be what you're thinking though. It's something very fun. Kickback cover. So Kickback cover's coming this weekend. Then a fun surprise release is coming the week after that. And then Lost Silver should be a week after that. So a lot of good tracks dropping. Oh yeah, and I guess that's a leak. I'm doing a cover of good old that's coming. That'll be out this weekend. And then I got more Friday Night Funkin' songs dropping soon. I got songs in Edled, how do you say that? Tabby, Strident Crisis Rebooted, and of course Versus, did I just say my name wrong? Did I just say my damn name wrong? Versus Longest Solo Ever Week 2 is of course coming. Yo, Root Beer, thank you so much for the super chat. You rock. Lopo, what'd you say? They got something from radio made by you, or I haven't seen anything from radio, but I haven't checked my DMs today. I got like 4,000 DMs in response to a post I put out for an editor on one Discord server. So my DMs are just rip right now. Why is Dean so big? I don't know why I do that on these streams. I just go full giant head for this. I need to move chat because it's in a weird place right now. There we go. Oh, thank you. My wife just sneak attacked some cookies to me. You can really see the cookies now too. These are delicious. These are the best cookies. Okay. So yeah, let's pull the first song. Let's see what we got. First up is... Are they here? They're usually here. MMUU with Detestation version 2. Forward. LSC Wife Edition. She's done one stream, at least one stream. We did a stream where she played Friday Night Funkin' for the first time. That was fun. Can I share some of these cookies? No, physically not. It's literally impossible. Razor Toshiba, what's up? Long time no see. Let's check out. Oh, I forgot. I usually put the text in the thingy, right? Here we go. Detestation by MMUU. Oh, I dropped some. Okay, we got good vibes. This is solid. Yes, Victini. Oh, I like the time change. I don't mind that. Yeah, this is solid. I don't mind it. Yes! I like this. I like this a lot. I'm turning it up a little. I think the volume was a bit low. Okay. So this is great. I think on a mixing level, we could probably do some stuff to fill it out a little. But overall, like compositionally, arrangement-wise, really solid. I would love to hear maybe more interesting stuff going on in the bass and like the keyboard instruments. You know, put some rhythm in there. But I really like those stops in that one section. That was super cool. Great job, MMUU. That was awesome. Next up, we got Just Dave with Pristine version 2. Sounds like King DDD's theme. Ba-da, ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. Is it going somewhere? Okay. I love a halftime switch. This is cool. I'm feeling like maybe... Is it going somewhere, you know? Are we going to hear different chords at any point? We're really just grooving on this one note this whole time, right? I was hoping for something. We got orchestra hits over here, though. That's fun. Some Big Shot vibes. I'm going to skip forward a little. Yeah, so this is a like almost 5-minute long song, and it really kind of feels like the same thing all the way through. I'm really strongly of the opinion that if you're doing a song that's over 3 minutes, you got to have like a damn good reason for it, right? You got to be really creating some really incredible, interesting stuff to carry the song that whole way. And I just kind of heard like ba 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 da da ba 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 da da ba. Sort of at any point I skip to throughout there. So you have a good thing in there. I just think it's really long. I think there's this tendency within the Friday Night Funkin' community to think that, oh, I need to make a long song. Songs need to be over 4 minutes. I need to make a 7-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute song. And like, no, some of the best, most banger songs are like under 2 minutes. They're like 1:20 long in the original soundtrack, and we love them, you know? At most songs should be like a nice 3:30. Like that's my goal. I'm always aiming for 3.5 minutes. Let's pull to the next one, though. I like the things in there. I just think either if you're going to do a long song, really switch it up more, or make it a shorter song. That's all. Also, vocals were maybe a little bit loud. Let's pull the next one. We got Charles, a.k.a. RJ, with Snapping. Yo, is Moro here? Yo, what's up? I'm not leaking a damn thing. Don't tell him that. Okay, so right away, I'm going to say, I haven't heard a single break in the vocals. It's nonstop. No, 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 da 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 da. There's like a little bit of variation in the rhythm, and that's good. But like, people gotta breathe. Think about how you sing. You breathe in between phrases, right? And theoretically, this is a rap battle, right? These are people who need to breathe at some point. If you go back to the original Friday Night Funkin' soundtrack, you will hear breaths in there. You hear rests in those phrases, and you got to do that. Moro, I literally haven't even mentioned the thing we worked on. Don't worry. I mean, we didn't work on anything. Yeah, okay. Like, you've got, so Charles, you've got a good vibe here. I think you've got to really think about the texture and having more space in your writing, in your phrases, and in your mix. Listen to a little more. That's a cool moment of intensity. I like that. I think you could also stand to spend some time learning more about programming drums. Really spend some time watching some drum tutorials, like actual live drummers learning how to play drums and teaching how to play drums. That'll help you write more realistic drum parts. Because right now I'm just kind of hearing kick, snare, right? Take the time to really learn how to play drums so you can program them better. Next up, next poll we got Yangster, a.k.a. LED with Yang Hua. That's what I see. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yang Hua. Ooh, I like the voice. I really like this. I really like this voice, the chromatic you're using. building. You put the Sonic 3 Come On sample in there. That's good in my book. Okay. So when this exploded open, you want this to feel just like full. This is the huge explosion we've been waiting for, right? I felt like maybe the payoff was just a little lacking. Let's listen to that again. Okay, I think these pads, these organs you have in the side, could be a lot brighter. I would go for like big super saws and have them sidechain to the kick, so it just feels like this huge full pop mix. Because right now it kind of feels like, you know, we had this build that was at this level and we're building up tension, building up, and then we did the drop out, right? That's cool, that's cool. And then we want it to explode into just everything, right? But it kind of just went back up to the same level it started at. It didn't feel like it really released all that tension we were building up. We just kind of went back to the same place, and I was like, okay, cool. Songwriting wise, you've got it. It's all there. What you need to do now is really look at the textures of, you know, like big EDM tracks and how they pay off that kind of thing. What they're doing with their super saw pads, with their side chaining, with their bass parts to really pay that stuff off. Let's keep listening. Yeah, absolutely. Punchier, brighter, more harmonically dense Youngster. It sounds sick, though. Great songwriting. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Just like really take time to think about how that tension and release works out. Next up, we got Anathri with Scyther. Scythra? Oh. This is good vibes, too. Wow. Some of this melody stuff's a little funky, but I want to see where it goes. Yeah. I want to listen a little more because there's something I'm listening closely for. Two things that I want to say. Okay. This is undeniably like super sick. Awesome job on this. I would say I have two, I would say one easy criticism that I think is probably a really easy fix for this mix. And then one thing that's just to keep in mind for the next thing you write. First off, I just want to say, like, where's the bass? That's the only thing I'm kind of missing here, right? I'm not hearing a really clear bass part. I can hear it back there. It's way back there, but it sounds like maybe it's being played in too high of an octave to really feel like a bass, or with maybe not a really bassy tone, a really bassy timbre on the synth you're using. So I do think this would really benefit from a really strong bass tone. That's the last thing that would really push this into like really hard-hitting territory mix-wise. It needs a bass. The other thing is, and this is more subtle, this is the kind of thing most people aren't going to hear and be able to say like This is the kind of thing that is a subtle thing that makes people like a song more, but they may not know why. And this has to do with the melody notes you choose when you're writing a song. If you watch my how to write music for Friday Night Funkin' tutorial, which obviously you are well beyond the kind of music you're making, that's like a super basic tutorial. But something important in that tutorial is that you really should be focusing on chord tones in your melody. And you've got a lot of notes here, and they're in key. They're not out of key. They're not in the wrong scale. But maybe they're not emphasizing the right chord tones quite as much. You want to make sure your whole song is working in sync with each other, front to back. The bass, the pads, the arpeggios, and the vocals should all be dealing with the same chords at the same time. So if there's a C chord going on, a C chord has C, E, and G in it. I'm not saying you can only write with those three notes in your melody, but they should be the most important ones in your melody. That's the only other thing I would suggest in here. For sure, crank up the bass on this, but also just be a little more conscious of chord tones in your melodies. And when you're studying other songs, which you should still be doing all the time, you should be listening to how those melodies fit into the chords. And this is why I always recommend remaking songs from scratch by ear and then really analyzing what you're looking at how the melody fits in with the chords, how all the parts fit together. This is huge. Oxika, I don't know the order they're going to play in. They're drawing randomly. I can check to make sure your song is in the pile. It is indeed in the pile. The song is made in GarageBand mobile version. Yeah, I don't know if it'll get pulled today, but it is in the pile for sure. I took a big bite of cookie right before I was about to talk. Let's pull the next one. This is Sherry. Doesn't seem to have a song name. So this is Sherry's first song. This is a tribute to a Discord server you spent a long time in last year. Awesome. I can't wait to hear it. This is your first song? Come on. This is sick. This has such nostalgic vibes to it. What? Okay, this is great. This is awesome. Amazing. If that really is your first song, which I don't know if I believe that. If that really is your first song, that's fantastic. Amazing, amazing work. Things to look at from here, your melodic sensibility is great. Your chord progression concepts, awesome. Everything's solid. What I would look at next is in terms of sound design and mixing, particularly mixing. Sound design, you made, I don't know if you made those growls or if those are samples. Either way, totally cool. Yo, Moro, you're going to send me a banger you made just a few minutes ago, not in FL Studio. Good. That's good points then. It's whether you made those growls or not. Either way, that lead, it's super cool. It was kind of occupying a lot of space in the mix. If you notice, there's not a lot of room for other stuff when the melody is playing. It's taken up this whole area in the front of the mix. but it's so good. Hang on, Moro sent me something. There you go. Okay, so when it comes to this kind of free jazz, you really want to be managing your tone rows properly. You don't want to hit too many of the same inversions of those tone rows in a row. Yeah, see, as you play that last sequence in retrograde, it really amplified the tonal color of the whole thing. This is how people actually talk in music school. It's terrible. You didn't think I'd play it, did you, Moro? Moro's DMing me now. Let's pull the next one. Next up, we got Tellies with Uptight. Hey, Raspberry Rock, what's up? I hear that go. Nice chord progression. I like that change there. This is good. I use this chord progression way too often. I use that exact one like 8 times in a song. I'm going to keep listening a little longer. Just listening for a couple specific things. Whoa! Lopo, I'm going to answer that question in a moment, actually, because it has to do with this song. This change is great. Yeah. Is that Bambi? I wrote for a freaking Bambi mod, and I don't even know what he sounds like. Okay, that was really good. Really good work, Tellies. Okay, so the first thought I was having during this, like melodically, great. Chord progression's so cool. I love it. Something I was thinking during this section, that pad holding the background chord was kind of boring me by like a minute and a half in. I would love some change in texture in the background, whether it's changing up the rhythm, changing up the instruments that are playing, but just having one synth play whole note, the whole way was starting to grate on me a little. And it really took away from what was otherwise a really, really awesome song, which is frustrating when you have that happen, you know? So Lopo asked about diminished chords. And yeah, we could talk about those for a second because they are, it's something that's pretty cool for all composers to know how to do. And they're like a fun cheat code to like instantly cool sounding stuff. So I'm just going to grab a keyboard sound real quick. Diminished chords are at their core it's a 3-note chord, and each of the notes are 3 half steps away from each other. So it's like, here's a C, and then 1, 2, 3, E flat, and then 1, 2, 3, G flat, right? And it's always those 3 notes. It's that exact shape moving back and forth. So if we take, for example, I'm just pulling up like a Sega Genesis piano or something. Beautiful. Oh, that sounds terrible. I hate it. Why did I pick this? What on earth possessed me to pick this? I'm just going to grab a regular piano. That was a terrible choice. Okay, so a diminished chord, like I said, is 3 notes. And if you want to look up like the exact notes in each diminished chord, you can literally just Google them. Wow, that looks so cool. That's fun. I like that. Sorry, I forgot I had that there. Okay, so here's the fun thing you can do with diminished chords. You can put them in between any other 2 chords to just like get bonus points moving between them. Let's take, for example, we're in the key of C. We have a C chord. And then if we're just going with chords in the key of C, the next chord is a D minor chord. Right? And if you've watched my How to Make Music for Friday Night Funkin' video, you know how to construct these chords from the scale, right? So here's our first chord, C. Here's our second chord, D minor. In between those 2 root notes, in between C and D, is a C sharp. It's the note in between, right? That sounds like this if we play a diminished chord there. That sounds terrible on its own, right? Garbage. I hate it. Like, if you had an entire song of that, it'd be terrible. But you get cool points for using it in between other chords. It acts as a passing tone in between them. So check it out. We got a C chord, C sharp diminished, and then D minor. And it just sounds so cool. Like, I could have a really kind of boring progression like C, D minor, E minor. Like, whatever. Fine. But if I just stick a diminished chord in between them, so now we're going C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, just sneaking up the scale, we get... Isn't that cool? You also don't have to literally be between 2 notes. It's more about going from the diminished chord to the next note. So really, you can just sneak a diminished chord in just under any chord you want to go to, and it'll sound cool. Like, for example, here's C going to A minor, but I'm going to use an A flat diminished chord just before it. Here's F, F sharp diminished, G, G sharp diminished, A minor. It's so easy. It's great. I love it. Yes, Raspberry, you should be using diminished chords more in your daily life. I should too. Honestly, I never think about them that much, and just talking about this has made me want to do more of them. Let's pull the next one. Next up is Dos de Choclo. Is this what I think it is? This is a song called Good Future. It's a Sonic CD's fan track inspired by Stardust Speedway's Good Future. So let's listen to this mix. I know you're saying you're inspired by Sonic CD, but this feels so much more like Sonic Mania style. Like, I feel like you went down the same path I got inspired by when I did a Sonic Mania track. Okay. So the first thing that's like sticking out most to me right now is where are the drums, right? There's not really, I can hear a really faint, really subtle kick back there, just kind of going like, but I want drums, you know? I want a drum set banging along. Like here, we're wide open. It should be nice and loud. There should be loud drums here, killing it too. You know? I really like the chord progressions you have going here. This is so sick. That bass line's fantastic. Oh, I hear the drums. They're panned all the way to the right, and they're really quiet. I just noticed it. Sorry. They were really hidden back there. Okay, yeah. Keep your drums in the center, and definitely make them louder. I've been lately mixing things. I used to mix from what I'd consider like the bottom of a mix up. I'd start with like a pyramid. I'd start with drums, and then bass, and then guitars and pianos, any kind of like high sparkly synths and horns and stuff, strings if I had them. And then finally I'd mix vocals. I'd squeeze them in at the last second. But that leads to this really weird imbalance where the track is huge and the vocals, there's no room left by the time you get to them. I know there's no vocals in this song, but I wanted to say the way I've been mixing lately is I start by mixing just vocals and drums. I mute everything else until I get those two sitting perfectly together. Just vocals and drums. Then I bring in the guitars and pianos, and finally the bass and everything else. So, for you, I would take your melody instruments, your sax and your horns, or maybe it's your keyboard, whatever's the most important, most forward key thing in this mix, and mix that and your drums together at the same time. Take everything else out of the equation, and then bring it back in. That's my advice here. I also think you could really stand to take influence from like some new disco stuff, really getting the hang of just how hard those kicks hit. Those who explain diminished must explain augmented. Augmented isn't as interesting though. It's just like a spicy 5-chord. It's definitely not as fun as diminished. You can't do as much cool functional stuff with augmented chords. Let's pull another one. This is Tanner Geese. Or maybe it's video game music. I don't know. I should have had you submit track names. This is by Salty Banana. What's up, Salty? This goes hard. Ah, that stop. That's great. Yo, happy birthday, literal chair. Those stops are so cool. That repeating stop is so cool. Okay, this lead's loud, I'll say. Like, compositionally, this is so cool, though. Yeah. So, okay. Here's my thoughts on this. Compositionally and everything, you've got it. It's great. This is killing. I love it. There's a bit of a challenge. Ooh, this part's cool. I like this. There's a challenge in working within this like limited 8-bit style in terms of how you mix it physically in the space, where you put things left to right and volume-wise. For most of the song, you've had the bass basically on the left side and the vocals, the melody on the right side, right? And that's tough from a mixing perspective. I might consider reworking this a little bit to center more of these parts, working less on the spectrum of left to right and more on the spectrum of centered and wide. So you can have things that are just dead center, and then things that are spread out wide. Maybe they're doubled, maybe they're, micro pitch shifted or something. But and you can use echo to separate things as well. You could put an echo on the melody, but not on the bass. These are little things you can do, but this is a personal taste thing. I'm not saying the way you mixed it is wrong or bad or anything. I'm just thinking of the way I would mix this and I would approach producing this track. I would try to get more of those things in the center, because that's where the power of a track lies. When you move things off to the side, the body just doesn't feel them as hard. And so that's a real challenge you can face in mixing within this really minimalist setup. But that was so cool. I love the song. It sounds really, really good, Salty. That was great. Let's pull the next one. We got Foxy Fix GMG with Stupid. I really like this. This reminds me of Benny, Super Lonely. This is that kind of vibe. I really enjoy this. Yeah. For this, I would say maybe just some balance things in terms of how loud that melody is. That second melody synth that came in, the higher one, maybe it moves back a little bit so we can still hear that bass, because the bass is so nice. This is so chill. Yeah, I think this, I would say, really it's mostly a mixing thing at this point, and maybe giving some thought to effects like risers and, those whooshes and stuff you'll hear in between sections to really elevate this to the next level as far as ear candy goes. Oh, you got a whoosh in there. Cool. Okay, that's good. That's good. I like this. I like this a lot. Using that as the outro, that's so cool. That is really, really cool. I think from this point, you work with balance in your volume and your panning and really just giving thought to where you're placing things in your mix so you can really hear everything you want to hear at once. Also, looking into using EQ to really properly separate your instruments where you want to keep them distinct from each other, and also using it to glue them together in other spots. I definitely recommend watching my Quick Start Music video on that. I'm going to drop that in the chat at this point.
You're using EQ wrong.
That video. The one where I say that at the beginning. What did Drep say? That is a cursed line. Why did Drep say that? Okay. Let's pull another one. What do we got? C-Mix with Cobalt Guardian. I can hear the track, but vocals are pretty loud. I feel like we've been through 3 genres in the first 12 seconds. I like this melody. This is fun. I want to see it go somewhere else, though, right? Where do we go? Change. Yeah. Sick melodies. I like them. I like those slides, those pitch bends. Yeah. So my only criticism of this, C-Mix put in the description, this is the first time writing in a new scale. It's the Hungarian harmonic minor scale, which is not one I've really messed with. I think sometimes... Oh. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes when you're thinking really scale-focused and you're writing a melody, you end up with a chord progression that's just one chord the entire song, right? And that's kind of basically what we got here. And, you know, if you've watched my streams for a while, you know that's usually one of my big beefs with a song, is when it stays in one place. Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot of chord tone focused writing, which I'd love to hear at least a bit of for some section of a song. It's okay if a lot of song... Some really fun stuff in here. I like it. There we go. I think something about the mix is just really preventing me from hearing those chords. It could be that you have the guitars voiced really high. You have the guitars playing really high in their range where maybe they're not quite communicating the chord they're playing as clearly. And I can't really hear the bass, which isn't giving them context either. Plus the vocals are super loud, so I'm kind of just focusing in on those. Yeah, that was cool. That was good. Good stuff in there. I like it. Next is, so this is Promenade. Promenade? Promenade? Promenade. Promenade feels better than Promenade. This is a remix of Promenade by InstaFizz. So remixes are okay as long as you're really remaking stuff. You're not just dropping new vocals over a track. And this feels like a new remix. So it sounds like maybe something's clipping a little in the vocals. Might be turned up too loud. Is this slower than the original? I forget. I need to hear the original for a second. I forget what it was like. Saruki's so good. Okay, back to yours. Okay, so in listening to the elements of the instrumental, I hear basically four things. I hear drums, I hear bass chugging along, and you're doing a good job with the bass. I don't know if you copied the MIDI from the original FLP or anything. I don't know if that's out. But doing a good job with the bass. The keyboards are really far back. I can barely hear them, so all I can honestly hear are like the drums and that string that's doubling the vocal and only on the left side. That, to me, is throwing the mix really out of balance. Like, it's kind of distracting from the vocal. I'm okay with sometimes using an instrument to mimic the vocal line and play along with it. Like, I do that in Malvado a lot. There's like an instrumental part that matches Flexi's voice the whole way through. But in this case, it feels like it's taking away from the vocal a little bit. I'd love to hear more of those keys too and bring them forward. I think this would benefit from some side chaining too, getting some of that pump effect. So you can really feel that kick hit. This is good though. Good job. Just keep really studying what instrumentation other songs you like uses. It's super important. Yeah, I was really bummed when Hotline not Hotline, when Entity got canceled. I don't blame them. Like, making a Friday Night Funkin' mod is exhausting, but that was a bummer. I made the trailer theme for that, didn't I? That was a cool one. Next up, we got Paddle Punk 78. With the special remix of this song. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I'd say maybe your drums are a little bit loud, just like a smidge. Yeah, at this point, it's a balance thing. You've got everything else down. It's just making sure you really got your vocals and your instrumental at a level where you can always hear everything. And that can often come down to a few things. One is gain staging. Definitely watch my video on that over on Quick Start Music. But the other can just be automation, just taking the time to really go through your whole mix and adjust the volume up and down as it goes. That was great, though. Good job. Next up. We got Chalky. That's the name of the song I got. Okay. Okay. It feels like it's so close to working. I don't think it's working, though. Like, there's something happening here, that's for sure. Okay, I 100% get the vibe you're going for, and it's really, really cool. I don't know if it quite works because the notes have to be on enough to, like, pay off and sound good and feel good, and then you can do the, like, wavery drunk stuff in between them. But you've got to give enough of the good stuff in there. Keep it on beat and in key with the chord progression that's going in the background. Use those chord tones I was talking about before. But in this case, it felt like it was just a couple steps too far over the line of like random noise. And it wasn't quite working, but it's really close to being something very, very interesting. It was very interesting, but it's close to being something interesting and also like fun to listen to. Loading up the next one. We have Willow by One Piece of Barbecue. Raspberry Rock, thank you for joining Guitar Nerd. Thank you so much, man. Let's take a listen. Willow, One Piece of Barbecue says, I was told this song was bad, but I don't know why it's bad. Help would be appreciated. Okay, let's find out. Okay. You should, Raspberry. It'll be awesome. Okay, I have good news for you, One Piece. Okay, your song is not bad. You've got a cool song here. You're writing good stuff with your guitar part. You've got a good arrangement and pieces. Here's the problem. You are flattening your mix with a compressor or limiter or something. You have compressed your mix so hard that any sense of dynamic, every single note is getting squashed into a two-dimensional pancake. You want to lighten up on whatever master compressor you're using or whatever you have on the drums, because I can hear it pumping every snare drum. Instead of sounding like, like it should sound, it's like as the compressor like chokes on it every single time. Gustavo, welcome to Guitar Nerd. Thank you. Take a listen right at the beginning. Each of those snare hits is like barely struggling to keep up with that compressor. So that's the thing you want to do here. You want to lighten up on that. You should also look at double tracking those guitar parts. Obviously, these aren't real live guitars. But if you watch my How to Make Metal stream on this channel, you'll see some tricks I have for double tracking a MIDI guitar part so that it ends up in the left and right channels and sounds huge, nice and wide, and makes a bunch of space in the middle of your mix for your melodies to sit nice and clear on their own. Your mix as a two-dimensional pancake is something only Dean could say. I will take that as a compliment, George. Let's see, what's this next one? Oh boy. We got Prided Tuba. Now, Prided Tuba was, I think one of the entrants in the Hypnosis cover thing, and did an amazing job with it. And this is Triple Trouble. So this is a self-insert Triple Trouble remix, specifically the Tails and Eggman section. Genre changes. Yes! I'm looking at the file. It is not 8 minutes long. Thank God. I know where this is going. I read the description. Yes. Okay, this is killing. I have mix notes that I'll give you in a minute, but I know this is short, so I'll just let it play through. Yes. Oh, that's so sick. I can't wait to hear the rest of that. You should finish that. Okay, that goes super, super crazy hard. I think someone asked how many VIP submissions there were. There were about 25, I think. They are randomly interspersed throughout this. All the VIP ones will get played tonight, but they're all in a random order tonight. Okay. So this is super sick. Awesome job with this. Obviously, from here, it's just little mixing stuff. Like, you did a great job translating the parts over to each of those genres. The Tails section was like a house, electro house, EDM kind of thing, progressive house maybe, and the Eggman section was more hardcore, kind of approaching drum and bass kind of thing. So sick. So first thing I would say. Easy, quick fix. For this section, sidechain those chords to the kick drum. Just every time the kick hits, those chords should go, they should pump like that. Definitely just easily sidechain the kick to basically, honestly, everything in the mix. Like, you can take some stuff off the sidechain. Sometimes the melody I won't sidechain, or you can make it sidechain not as hard. I'll either raise the threshold or lower the ratio, just to make the compressor not as intense on some instruments if I want them to stay more far forward, if I want them to not get choked by that sidechain when the kick hits. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about with the sidechain is the thing that makes an EDM song go like that pumping effect on a whole mix. Basically, you're wiring a compressor up to the kick drum, so every time the kick drum hits, an instrument goes and clamps down and then comes back up to regular volume. So it's like it's that effect. That's sidechaining. And I'll use it in varying amounts depending on the instrument in an EDM mix like that. So like chords and like arpeggios and any mid-range stuff will get sidechained to absolute hell. It'll be complete drop and then big pump back up. Bass might not get sidechained as hard because I still want that bass coming through on every beat. And same with the melody. I may not sidechain it as hard. But that was sick. Really, really awesome job on that Pride of Tuba. I had so much fun listening to that. Next up, we got T New. Doesn't really have a song name. Unless this is Tear Plop Numero 2. There we go. That's the song name. Tercero, thank you. We got some cool stuff going on in here. I like that impact. I like how that all kicked in. Oh, what's up, Tino? Yes. So, something that's a little tricky with vocals like these, with these instrumental chromatics. Oh, I love that slide. That's great. Okay, it's kind of hard to tell that that's a voice, right? Because it sounds a lot like the instruments in your track. You've got to do something like really meaningful effect-wise, maybe, to make it stand out more as the character's voice. That's sick, though. That sounds great. It's a good track. I think that vocal, it like didn't really click for me until halfway through the track that was the character's voice. So I would spend some time with that. Maybe consider recording like an actual chromatic or something for it. I have videos on how to do that in both FL and Ableton if you want to check that out. Lately, I've been using Utau to make vocals for things, and it comes out really sick. Like, it's super smooth. It's perfect every time. I never have like weird artifacts from the pitch shifting or anything. I've been using Utau for like all my chromatics lately. I love it. It's a nightmare to set up, and you have to change your entire computer into Japanese to use it properly. It's not hella hard to make, though. You just have to do a couple really stupid things first. I've been meaning to make a tutorial on how to do it. Maybe we'll do it on stream sometime, and we can just like clip it up later. But that sounded sick. It's just the vocal, like I said, would be if you work on that chromatic. Next up, Noichi with Space Travel. Yes. This is like a little bit of Owl City vibes. I love it. This is fun. This is very fun. I have like one minor lame criticism I'm gonna make. This is such a good vibe though. Okay, I have one like minor annoying gripe I'm gonna make, and that is with the chord choices. It is so you are not out of key. You are not playing any wrong notes. You're playing. Let's find it. Okay. We're in the key of F sharp major, and we're playing an F sharp major chord, and then an E sharp diminished chord. And that's our chord progression for most of this, right? Right? That's our chord progression there. And the thing is, while this isn't wrong, E sharp diminished is a chord in this key. That's fine. It's just not like you wouldn't traditionally use this chord. We don't typically use this as a main chord in a scale. It's pretty much a last minute thing you use heading up to the one chord, back up to F sharp. This could have been really nice as a 5 chord if you've gone to C sharp instead. So instead of we could have done this. You know? So spend some time with this is where we get into like why it's helpful to learn music theory, to really understand functional harmony and the kinds of chord progressions you would see often in the real world, right? Retro, no, you haven't missed your submission yet. I don't know if I don't know. It's all random poll, so we'll see. So does that make sense? Why, like, it's not more correct, it's not better, but it's more likely to sound good to more people because it's what they're used to hearing, you know? I don't recommend using the 7 chord, that diminished chord, as a main chord in your chord progression, really ever, personally. I'd only use the first 6 chords in that key, which would be F sharp major, G sharp minor, A sharp minor, B, C sharp minor, C sharp, and D sharp minor. That's a weird key. That's a hard key to say out loud. I wouldn't use the E sharp diminished. That's all. But lovely song. Absolutely delightful, Noichi. Wonderful, wonderful piece. Melon Muffin with Sunset. Oh. Oh, lo-fi. Yeah. This is nice. I like this. This is beautiful. Truly, like, wonderful chord choices. The effects are perfect. This is truly delightful. Good job. Ah. Yes. Hey, I'm gonna keep listening. I'm just vibing. I'm gonna pour myself another drink. Hang on. This is good. I got no feedback. This is perfect. Nothing to say. I'm sorry. This is beautiful, Melon Muffin. Melon Muffin said in the submission, this is a very sad sounding lo-fi type I've made. The one thing I'll say, I don't get sad vibes from this. This is just like perfect relaxation. Maybe like slightly bittersweet nostalgia. I wouldn't say this is very sad though by any means. This makes me feel like a real weird type of good. This is good. This is very good stuff. Yeah. Amazing work on that, Melon Muffin. That's great. Have you released that? You should release that because I would listen to that. Let's pull the next one. We got AJ Mix-Up with One Mind. Great drums on this. So maybe some of those melody notes didn't really fit some of the chords happening. But it's like there's some cool stuff going on there. This is one of those melodies I can tell you haven't played an instrument, probably. Like, maybe take some time. There's some really cool melodies in there. But like, a lot of it flows in a way that, like, feels written by a mouse, you know? I love those little hops, though. That's fun. This is cool. This is cool. Maybe I'm being nitpicky. I think you could stand to maybe, like, spend some time remaking songs you know by ear, especially deconstructing the melodies and how they interact with chords. And this is outside of Friday Night Funkin' as well as inside. That was cool. Oh, good vibes. Good mix. Let's see who we got next time. Oh, we got 2OP. Where are we going? So 2OP has been making tracks called Bread for a couple years now, I think. Mostly remakes of my song Dread. And yeah, this has like megalo structure to it a little bit. This is chaotic. That little like, that's like a mixolydian. That da 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 da. That's a cool line there. Some of these pieces aren't fitting together musically speaking. Like, we're working with a really tricky descending progression here, right? This thing, right? You have to be really careful when you're working with a melody and a chord progression that's this chromatic. They can really bump up against each other in really kind of awkward ways at times. So take care to think about the chord that's playing at any given time and really make sure it's lining up with each other. Because I felt a few like bumping up against each other moments in there, and you just want to take a little extra care with that. It's sounding cool though. I don't know why it still has that name. Let's pull another one. We got. Oh, nice. We got Coffee Lemon. Wait. I have to go back to the beginning of this. So that's me. That sounds like Jempbot. I don't know if there has been a Dean versus Jempbot song yet, has there? Yes. Oh, the Atrocity cover. Yeah, I guess that does kind of count, right? This is sick. I love it. Those drums. So the one thing I'll say, because I have to give criticism on this, I know I'm thoroughly just basking in the fun of a Longest Solo Ever versus Jempbot song. Yo, Norby, thank you so much. Thank you, Norby. But I do want to say, Yami, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you so much, both Norby and Yami. You're amazing, both of you. And Ira and Juhin got the memberships on that. Nice. So, on this one, I can hear that your guitar and those strings or horns, whatever they are in the background, that pad, they're not playing the same chords. Just be really careful when you have that stuff going on. Food, yo, thank you for the gifted membership. Y'all are all amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Retro got the gift membership. There you go. Now, Retro, you can submit. God, thank you so much, Norby and Yami and Food. You are all amazing. Or Fawawawawad. How should I say that? I know you're Food in some places and Fawawad some other places. So yeah, but Coffee, this is sounding so killer, and I can hear that you've got a solid chord progression in here, but it sounds like your guitar is just like riffing in one place while the strings are moving around, and maybe they're not agreeing with each other. Yeah, I can hear the strings come down. Ba da da da, right? Doing that. Doing that, right? But like your guitars were hanging out here the whole time. Or where were they? And like it, in some cases, that kind of stuff can work. That's called a pedal tone when you have one chord holding underneath other chords moving. But in this case, those strings are sitting in the same vocal range, in the same frequency range as the guitars, which are also sitting in the same range as your vocals, and it's getting crowded there. And when things are crowded like that, they really have to agree with each other really tightly. You have forward on YouTube so it doesn't yell at you for vowel spam? Really? That's so funny. That's great. Oh, finally, the alerts are coming through. They really take their time. Let's pull another one. That is so sick, Coffee. Awesome job. Yo, seeing a lot of songs I recognize. Next up, we got Susie. Wait. This is SMA. Susie. Oh, yeah. There you go. Good job, Susie. Next up is ZZ Lex. That was a letdown, Susie. With Split Personality. Xylex. I don't know how to say this. Let's take a listen. Yo, what's up, Xylex? Yo, let's listen. Okay, we got a little breakbeat coming in. I'm still waiting for like a strong instrumental, like chord context to come in. I can hear like a pad over here and a little bass way in the background. So I'm kind of hearing like noodling of the bass, and you've got a maybe a low pad kind of playing a few chords, and the vocals up here, but nobody really seems like they're playing the same song. Nobody's really agreeing on, is there a chord progression going right now? Is there, you know, how is this working together? How are all these pieces fitting together? So it's definitely something to consider. But you've got like the structure down, really cool breakbeats in that. Now it's just really taking time to figure out how the chords can fit into this, and then how to write a melody to those chords. Let's pull another one. We got a remix of Dad Battle. Let's check it out. By Quino. Okay. I like this bass. Yeah. I would love it if these drums hit just a little harder. They're kind of far back there. Whoa. Key change? This is cool. This is very cool. Yeah, keep this stuff. I agree. Like, I haven't heard Dad Battle in like a year. Okay, yeah. You've got like, yeah, the key change was a little weird, maybe. It could have been maybe telegraphed a little. It could have been telegraphed a little more clearly ahead of time. Or I don't know. There's a lot of tricky ways to pull off a key change. I think at this point, you've got like 80 to 90% of it there. Now it's just spending some time with the mix, with the balance, and making sure you get things where you want them to be. And then adding in what I like to call ear candy. Andrew Huang has a great video on it. I highly recommend going to watch. If you just type in like ear candy, it should be one of the first things to come up. It's a great video. Let's check out Blue Cheese.
Left, up, right, down, right, left, up, down, left, right, left, right, up, down, up, right, left, up.
Okay. Yeah, you've got the pieces here. We got a little tutorial song here. Okay. So, I'll give my usual basic criticism here, which is to watch my How to Make Music for Friday Night Funkin' video and really spend time thinking about how the vocals are written, how they relate to the chords in the chord progression, maybe spending some time writing an interesting bass line there. I'm always going to plug Quick Start Music, my music production school online. You can check out the 7-day free trial there, and there's a way more in-depth version of... it's basically, if you took that How to Make Friday Night Funkin' stream and expanded it out into like a 4-hour long step-by-step course with downloadable files every step of the way that really walks you through every single thing you need to do in the process of music production in super, super deep detail. It's tons of video lessons, it's written lessons, it's a lot of stuff, and I'm actually launching one more course tomorrow and then a full mixing course in a few weeks. Yeah, drop by Quick Start Music. I'm going to shameless plug here and just hop onto the free trial at the very least and just devour that intro to music production class. It is definitely awesome. Is it FL? It's not in FL right now. It's in Ableton Live, but everything in it applies to FL. And I am reluctantly releasing an FL version of it in a couple weeks as well. So if you want to learn on FL Studio, you can through that course. That'll be up in a couple weeks. So that's my recommendation for you, Blue Cheese, is just go through that. But good job making the chromatic and stuff. Like you did it. You made a song. Now it's the next step of building the bass part, the melody, all that stuff to fit together. Next up is Moon Guy with a remix of Hellhole from Wednesday's Infidelity. How many songs am I going to listen to? I'm going to try to get to about 80 tonight. Probably another hour and a half. Okay, I just need to listen to the original because it's been a while. Okay, cool. So you took this in a whole metal direction. This is great. Does Quick Start Music accept PayPal? It does not at the moment. It takes Stripe or any credit cards. I'm working on the PayPal thing, though. Wait, Coffee, there was a play with me part in yours? Hang on. I missed that. No, we're going back. What? I just passed it. Maybe I was listening too closely. There it is. That's so good. That's good. That's very good. Good job, Coffee. Next up, we got Merci. Oh, so sorry. I want to give feedback on the Hellhole song. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Okay, this is solid. Like, you've got it here. From here, it's spending time working on a metal mix. And I want to be honest, this is not at all a critique of you, Moon Guy. The metal that I hear in the Friday Night Funkin' scene is all the exact same metal song. It's always, literally every single time. It's this pattern every single time. Right? And here's the thing. Metal is so much more than that. How much metal have you listened to outside of Friday Night Funkin'? I'm gonna guess not a ton. Like, I don't know. Tails Gets Trolled was a plague to Friday Night Funkin' metal songs. I know, and I contributed to that. It's unfortunate. So it's how did I learn to play piano like that? A lot of self-teaching, and I taught myself the entire album Songs for Silverman by Ben Folds. That helped a lot. That song taught me a lot. That's Landed by Ben Folds. Okay. So, yeah, like, really, to everyone in the Friday Night Funkin' scene, broaden your metal horizons. Go listen to Avenged Sevenfold and Metallica and Iron Maiden and, Behemoth and freaking everything you can get your hands on. Periphery, Tesseract, Animals as Leaders. There's so... I don't know why I said Behemoth. just there's so much metal out there. Find something. Baby metal, hell yes. I listened to the new Baby Metal song the other day. Baby Metal has a new song called Monochrome. I was out for a run and I was like, I need some inspiration for my Lost Silver song. So I just put on the new metal playlist on Spotify, and the first song was a song from Baby Metal called Monochrome. And I thought that was the funniest goddamn thing in the world when I'm looking for inspiration on a Lost Silver song. It's so good. It's so good. Cool. So, Moon Guy, this is great. I do recommend looking up some metal mixing tutorials. Unstoppable Recording Machine goes a really long way. Check out URM on YouTube. And what was the Lost Silver song I made? It's not out yet, Heroic. It's going to be out in, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. Next up is Merci with Brain Fog. Oh, that time signature is hurting me. Then the Genesis bass. Oh my god. I'm in hell. I'm gonna die. Yeah, this sounds like Sonic got drunk in Fourside in Earthbound. That's where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, you did the thing you wanted to do, that's for sure. No, there's not I'm not going to say this sounds bad. It sounds weird, that's for sure. But you did a thing here, and I think you pulled it off. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is kind of cool. I don't think I have any helpful criticism for you here, but this was interesting and cool. Thank you. RF, thank you so much for joining Guitar Nerd. You rock. Next up is Pierce, or Piercing Star. Okay, we're heavy right off the bat. Mutated Potato, thank you for joining Guitar Nerd. You rock. Okay. I like that the intensity is building here. We got a lot of notes. Okay. My only gripe is we're a minute and 10 seconds song in, and we have heard the same chord progression the entire song. Just that. Ah, whoa, what did I do? That. How many times can we hear this before maybe it gets boring? I think we've probably already passed it. And we've still got like 30 more to go before we hit a minute and 10, which is where we are in the song. Right? When instead we could go somewhere else, like... You know, you could go so many places, but you've got to go places. Instead, we're just... over and over. That's this entire scene. That's my problem with a lot of Friday Night Funkin' songs. It's the same damn thing the entire time, right? It's so much more fun when something goes somewhere, because songs have to move. That's all. I'm not trying to say your song's bad or anything. That is just like... It was a good opportunity for me to call out one of the most common things I hear in this scene, which is one chord progression the entire dang song. Where are we? I lost our place. Oh, I remember this person's last submission, and I think it was pretty sick. This is Batter Up by Wonton Supertavius. How do you change a chord progression, low pull? You just write a new one. You start in a new place and you go somewhere else. That's all. It's just got to be different. Xylex, just because it's repeating on purpose doesn't mean it's, like, enjoyable to listen to. It's not that I'm saying it's bad or anything, but, like, just because you did something on purpose does not make it meaningful in a song, you know? This is based on a cursed Sonic commercial. That's fun. That piano's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Okay. This is a sick song. This sounds really good. Great songwriting, great arrangement. Everything's really solid. I think the mix feels... it feels... too much, just a little too much. Everything's very full and all the time. Listen to it. Now there's a little space. This is good. But when we were back here, every inch of the mix is filled up here in this top range, and maybe we're missing a little bit in the bottom range. Yo, Smoke Cannon, thank you so much. Wait, Smoke Cannon, does this mean you got your channel back? Is that your old channel? Or is this your new channel? Smoke and I were talking about their Smoke got hacked recently. If that's your old channel, I'm so glad you got it back. And if not, you'll get it back soon. Thank you so much for the super chat, Smoke Cannon. You rock. So I would say they're gonna send you something. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is their new channel. They're gonna get it back though. Team YouTube's working with them on it, and I have some people at YouTube working on it too. I'm putting through a little escalation. You have your own YouTube channel? Awesome, KPS. So I would take some time in this song, watch my EQ video, over on Quick Start Music. It's called like You're Using EQ Wrong or something. Mostly just about taking time to separate instruments with EQs, because right now it feels like everything's kind of mushed together in a bit of a sludge as far as frequencies go up here. The piano, the strings, the vocals, everything's hanging out all in the same range and kind of stuck together, and you want to separate out those instruments so we can hear them clearly from one another. That's what I would do. It's probably going to be maybe a little cut around the 1K or 2K mark or something, maybe 500 in some of those instruments to just separate them from each other a little bit. But awesome job on that, Wonton. Super cool stuff. Next up, we got Retro RSP. There it is. Funky. Good grooves. Yeah, there we go. I was hoping that would happen. I'd be careful with some of those double snare hits. They're kind of interrupting the groove just a little. But this is really sick. I love stuff like that in a drum beat. You have to be so careful with it. It's really tricky. This is so sick. I love it. Oh, that new melody. I love it. Yeah. I would say this would probably benefit from a little bit of mixing work. I would watch a few mixing tutorials, figure out how you can really fill this out. Right now it feels kind of consolidated to the mid-range of the frequency spectrum, and you could really spread this out to really cleanly cover the whole space, feel really big and full and clean in a nice way. Heroic, yeah, of course. I mean, the full video is going to be up for you to watch whenever you want, so you don't have to screen record everything. I don't take down my live streams. They're always up forever. Yeah, sick. Awesome stuff, Retro. Great job. Next up, we got Zekra Miner with Takedown. What's that bass doing? I love it. There we go. I was waiting for it. Yeah, I don't know if this drum set's matching too well with things. But this is, I know drum sets can be really tricky to find, like, one that fits a mix well. Compositionally, this is so cool. I think maybe balance-wise, it's a little funny in some spots. Yeah, just these drums aren't hitting in the way they need to be. I would look into some other drum kits you can find, whether you find a different plugin that can do realistic drums, or you take it in a different direction. If you don't have realistic drums that you can pull off, you move into more electronic drums, which, you can get samples like free that'll sound huge and really awesome. KPS, all the submissions for this had to be through the Discord. I gotta keep it organized. I can barely keep a handle on this myself. Smoke Cannon, thank you so much. Next up, we got Manny. What happened? Why do I always miss Manny's text? I'm sorry. What'd you say? All I see is your replies to other people. What did you say, Manny? I see you, Manny. I'm terrible at typing names. Oh, y'all are in February already? Still back here in January. You're looking for guitar help, Kespug? Where are you at? What are you working on right now? Yeah, I'm feeling, everything's feeling kind of crammed into that mid-range, like I said, Your bass is really high, everything else is really low. I would take some of these instruments and spread them out vertically, pitch-wise. Move the bass down, move the other instruments up. Move things out to the left and right. It's all crammed right into the center. I think compositionally, you've got some good stuff going on here. You have a chord progression going. You're writing melodies to that chord progression. But I think you should take some time to, work with the arrangement to make things work a little better. But it's a really good start. Good job on that, Ace. Next up is Lavender by Viva. So this is a Friday Night Funkin' song about the Lavender Town ghost. Okay. Is this the full volume things get to? Is this as intense as things get, or? Okay. This feels very small to me physically. Compositionally, it's cool. You got cool stuff going on here. But mix-wise, we've got leads up front, and then there's guitars back here, and then drums are 10 miles that way. I would really bring those drums way up. Like I said, I mix vocals and drums together first, and I bring them so I can hear them both really loud and clear. Then I bring everything else in. Also look into the double tracking your guitars thing I talked about. Go watch my How to Make Metal stream. I talk about how to split your MIDI file so it plays the guitar track in both ears. It'll sound wide and huge in that way. It's really beneficial. I think you might also benefit from going to some other chords. You're kind of just hanging out on the these two chords. You know? It's a little tricky. Let's look at 1TZ Zara. Sorry. This is Celestial by 1TZ Zerai. Is that right? Is this a Celeste track? Where is this from in Celeste? I gotcha, KPS. That's the only place I can set this up. I'm sorry. I'd love to hear more bass. Yeah. Those chords are like occupying a lot of low frequency range too. So maybe they're kind of acting as the bass. That's kind of cool. This is nice. Ooh, there's a bass. Yeah. This is beautiful. Good job. Oh. I wasn't expecting that. I got jump scared by the growls. That's sick. I love it. Yeah, really good stuff. Where's this going? I want to know where the rest of where this goes. Okay, real quick. I want to talk about something real quick because this is important. So there's something called a leading tone, and it's a note that really wants to resolve upwards by half a step. So, for example, this note in this key really wants to go where? If I go somewhere else, it feels like we got cheated. But if I resolve it properly, it feels right. It feels nice. Now, in this case, I just heard something in the bass that really felt oddly resolved. Yeah, this, something about it. Like, it really feels like it wants to go somewhere else. Like, and instead it goes somewhere else. Just be aware of where your chords want to go and let them go there. Key change. Something feel out of tune? I feel like maybe you have a really long glide on your bass and it's taking a long time to get to the notes. Something feels slightly out of tune. This sounds killer. I love the key change. Or is your whole mix in a different tuning standard? Is this mixed at like 435 hertz or something? No? No, it's sick. Cool stuff. Good job, One T Zerai. Next up, we got Power Trip by Frostbite Clown. Where's this going? So deeply and truly confused. Okay. Frostbite says, I need help with this. It's meant to be an orchestral synthy song with heavy aggression and a fast speed. Okay, here's my advice. Learn how an orchestra works. This goes back to what I was talking about with metal. Like, how much orchestral music have you listened to? How many orchestral scores have you looked at and learned how the pieces actually fit together? Do you know what a low brass section usually plays in an orchestral piece? Do you know the instruments in a low brass section? Do you know the instruments in an orchestra? Or are you just kind of pulling in strings and horn patch and drums? An orchestra is a really specifically structured group of instruments, group of musicians, and you want to use it like an orchestra. Otherwise, you're kind of bringing in instruments to cosplay as an orchestra, and it's not gonna feel the way you want it to feel. So I really strongly recommend, if you want to make a genre, listen to that genre and learn how the people who make music in that genre make it, learn. And fortunately, there's literally like 500 years of history and knowledge to be shared about orchestral music that you can look into. I definitely recommend grabbing the scores to like some of Beethoven's symphonies. You can find them online for free at imslp.org. I'll put that in the chat, imslp.org. I forget what that stands for. International Music something Library of People. I don't know. But it's a free online collection of sheet music. But yeah, like, take the time to learn how an orchestra works, because right now I can tell you can hear the sound you want, but you don't know how to express it because you don't know the parts you're working with. This is a cool riff. This is getting into more metal territory, and for metal, you really want to split things up. You want to have a bass and a guitar, or in this case, your synth, playing in tandem with each other. So you probably want, for this, not just a single synth off to the side playing this riff. You really want like a big, heavy bass synth, and then a really distorted guitar synth that's doubled and pitch shifted into each ear. Again, watch my How to Make Metal thing to learn how to do that. Next up is SNAS 101. SNAS 101, I'm sorry. Is there reverb on the kick? There might be. There's a lot going on here, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna guess from the name that you're trying to evoke kind of a Pokemon vibe here, right? And you got that down with this chromatic motion, right? We see that in a lot of Pokemon songs. You're like that kind of like scalar power chord motion, and that's really cool. But you've got to break out of that at some point. All those Pokemon songs then move to a more chord-focused progression. So we're hanging out here in to reload it maybe. Right, and we're just kind of doing this over and over again. What key is this in? So none of this really actually suggests that one of those is the home key of the, like the home chord of the key. I actually think we might be in a different key. We might be in the key of F. So as you're feeling this go back and forth, right, we're going here. We could go. And you can chug through this and really get a lot of cool chords out of it, but you got to explore the whole key. And we can't just hang around on one chord progression, you know? Next up we got, oh, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Next up we got a song called Prime by Callie May, who I always love Callie's work. Yes!
The prison that's inside me, watching my body run, manifested into being the one that takes you out. Be further than the west. I won't just be one shot. You can run as a bleeding. Pay for your crimes and punishment. Every last thing you must die. Man of steel, all these crimes are deafening. The kill shall glisten.
So good. So Callie said, oh, this is so good. So Callie said this is one of their most popular songs. It's based on Ultra Kill, which is an awesome, like FPS, classic FPS style thing, like classic Doom kind of thing, or Quake. And they're asking why this was their most popular song. What made this pop off in relation to their other songs? And I'll be honest, I think it's like, for one, you have the first requirement, which is it's a killer song. That's the most important thing. Then what takes it from there to like actually getting views is a hook that people can connect to without even hearing it, which is it's related to a game they like. They're into Ultra Kill. You packaged it beautifully. I'm looking at the thumbnail for the video right now, and it looks so sick. Like, I want to click on that. I would watch that. So that's the real key. It's latching on to that's like the whole game of nerdcore. Besides writing amazing songs, which you have to, that's a requirement, you then have to pick awesome subjects for those songs, and that's the thing I'm working on most too. And in this case, you picked a great subject. You nailed it. This is so good. Those harmonies. It's like such solid, like 2000s heavy rock and metal stuff. Like, oh, really good layering. Yeah, and they said this is one of their older mixes, which, yeah, this song came out 3 months ago. Yeah, so I know your mixes have improved since this point, but I do agree with Mutated Potato. Bass is a little heavy, vocals are a little buried, but you know that. This sounds sick. Awesome, amazing songwriting, awesome arrangement and everything. So good. Next up, we got Sir Cheese, or Senor Cheese, with Homicide. So this is for a Versus Imposter fan song. So, okay, here's my question. How much of this can you sing back from memory? How much of this song, you've worked on it, how much of it can you sing back from memory accurately? Right? Is there a song here, or are there a lot of notes? Because to me, sounds like a lot of notes. I'm not hearing an instrumental really beyond some drums. Oh, there's some. Hello. Sorry, skipped ahead. Changed my mind. Okay. You got it going here. You got melody and stuff going here. This is fun. I'd still say there's a lot of motion on this. Maybe, in my opinion, too much for most songs. But this is an imposter track. I don't tend to vibe that much with imposter tracks to begin with, so I'm probably not the best person to be giving feedback on this. This part is certainly a lot more interesting, though. This is cool. Yeah, the beginning of the song had way too much like chromatic motion and all over the placeness. This is kind of cool. Like this is cool as a quick little interlude, but when it was my introduction to the song and I thought the whole song was going to be like this, it didn't really work for me. It feels like your melodic writing got a lot stronger towards the end of the song. I would maybe consider rewriting that beginning to be, okay, like if you hit someone with a billion notes out the gate in a song, they are not going to have any like structure to perceive the rest of the song with. Think about like Release, that right there, you've learned so much about the song, and it comes back. Right? We're just introducing like actual melodic concepts that are going to come back again through the song. When the first thing someone hears in your song is this, so now it's like if in the first scene of a movie you were introduced to 72 different characters and you didn't know who you were supposed to pay attention to. You're like, I just met dozens and dozens of characters. I learned full names and everything. Who the hell am I supposed to be paying attention to? And then 2 hours into the movie, you're still going to be asking, wait, who the hell is that guy? I don't remember. Oh, he was in one scene for a second before. Like, your song has to be like a movie you can follow. You have to know the themes that get introduced when they come back later. And when you throw this many things at someone right off the bat, they don't have a framework to listen to the rest of the song with. It's okay if you do crazy stuff later in the song because you've already built the foundation for the room, and then you can go wild within it. But you can't start there, in my opinion. Next up is Lieutenant Mask with In the Stray. So this is heavy. I think it's cool. That's a cool switch up. Okay. I think there's cool stuff here. Whoa. A lot of changes. Mutated Potato, you'll get on the next one. I already pulled all the submissions into a pile. Okay, yeah, this goes hard. I think maybe a little bit of mixing stuff would help it hit a little harder. Maybe not side chaining, but really extreme limiting that'll help that kick pump everything a little bit. I think this could hit really hard. This is sick. I really like that groove. Yeah, this is sick. A limiter is like a really extreme compressor. It sets up a brick wall like at the top of your volume level so that when anything tries to punch past it, it actually just gets limited right at that volume. Now, what that means, like utility-wise, is you can set a ceiling on your mix so it won't clip, it won't overload, right? But what it means sound-wise for your mix is you can then raise the volume of everything else and it just gets pressed against this ceiling, and now you have this flat, full, packed, solid mix. And what's really cool, at the heavier end of things, and this is what I end up with a lot in my EDM mixes, stuff like Intruder or parts of Hypnosis, is when everything's packed that full, there's only room for so much in the limiter, right? So if you punch a kick drum really hard, everything else gets like inherently sidechained and pushed down to make room for that kick drum. It's not an actual literal sidechain, but it comes out as one. It comes out as like an even grungier sidechain. It's so much fun. I love really pushing limiters super hard in my mix. I even use what's called a clipper, which is like a limiter, except it actually intentionally lets you distort your mix a little bit. You'll hear it a lot on some of Billie Eilish's stuff as it gets really crunchy. And you'll hear it in the Ink Demon song, in Bendy. That is intentionally very clipped, that whole mix. Like if we listen to... the whole mix is distorting in a very controlled way. That's the kind of thing I would look into next, Lieutenant Mask, is that kind of mastering stuff you can do to push it to the next level. Next up, we got Electroblade with Forest of Funk. This is not very funky yet. Do I use saturation knob at all? Blue Nebula. Oh man, I forgot about Sat knob. I used to love that plugin. No, I use Decapitator now for most of my saturation, and then K-Clip for like my master channel saturation. But man, I used to love saturation knob. That's by Softtube, right? That's a great plugin. Okay, Electroblade. I'm going to give my usual criticism of you need to check out chord progressions and write melodies to those chord progressions and deconstruct more songs you like, learning them by ear, the melodies, the chord progressions, figuring out how those melodies fit into the chord progressions. Because right now we got a bunch of notes. You're writing melodies. You have a good melodic sense, but nothing's really fitting together in a meaningful way. That's your next step. Next up is piano with Me When Homework. Okay, this is going to get back to one of the things I mentioned earlier. Remember when I said you shouldn't really use the diminished chord as a main chord in your chord progression? That's what we're dealing with here. We have in this B minor chord, in this B minor key, we're going from B minor to C sharp diminished to what's after that? Yeah, okay. This diminished chord, it sounds really discordant. It sounds really like harsh. And also it naturally needs to go to D. Like that's its only job in life. It has one purpose in this world, and that's to go to a D chord. It wants to do this. Right? That is all it wants in this world. And using it this way it just doesn't quite work as well. So I would spend some time looking at chord progressions in functional harmony and just avoiding diminished chords unless you're doing what we talked about earlier when we talked about using them as passing chords. So you can use them as like a... I screwed that up. You know, but you want to avoid using them as a main thing. Next up is Bruno 08. This is the actual name of the song. This has like Megalovania vibes, but it's not. Power Fresh, thank you. Yes, I agree. Augmented chords are a lot of fun. Yes. This is ridiculous. I love it. Yeah, this absolutely shreds. Amazing. You said this song is kind of short since I made it in 2 hours. I had to do it had to redo it 3 times since my dog crashed and I didn't save. Save your files every 2 goddamn seconds. Like seriously, my left hand lives on Control S. It does not move from that position, and anytime I do anything, I save. It's not that hard. Save your work often. Get backups. Back up your work often. My God, people. Next up is Fun Da Dude. So this vocal is a little bit loud, the opponent. I hear Labyrinth Zone everywhere. That's great. Okay, we're kind of hanging around in the same spot, and that's my only beef with this so far. I like the arrangement, I like the texture, I like the melodies, but we are 55 seconds in, and I've heard the same chord progression 10 times in a row. You know, we really got to change it up. I had a professor in college who used to say, if you don't change something every 10 seconds in a song, the audience will lose interest. And so far, we got 6 times through that process without changing a thing. So definitely switch some up. We got, next up is Juhin's work. Here's King by Juhin. Let's take a listen. Yes! Nice singing. You did the head voice? Awesome, Lopo. This is great. You're doing an awesome job.
Left side, right side, 歯を突き出して You are king. You are king.
Great production, great singing, great layering of vocals. You're doing an awesome job with this.
無邪気に遊ぶ期待会の誰々けなげに笑う期待体の消える渦間にしれる違いもなくなんて
Yeah, both of you are amazing. Lopo and Julian.
嫌いな最低なんてだ毎度あなたにお願い一つあんま変わらずピカップのモーニングモーニングならあなたにお願い一つ張り詰めた思い込め Left side, right side 歯をむき出して邪魔くさいね Left side, right side 歯を突き出して
Something I want to note, this is recorded in GarageBand, right?
You are king. You are king. You are king.
Yeah, awesome work on this. Awesome work. Cool. So, yeah, I mean, if I can offer any criticism, I mean, for one, obviously, as always, it's improving your mixing. We all can improve our mix. I always want to improve my mix. There's only so much you can do in GarageBand, and it's amazing what you're pulling off in GarageBand. That's so cool. From there, on the singing side, like you're nailing a lot of your pitches. You're doing a really good job. I think the next step is to work on more breath support. Really supporting things from the diaphragm and holding those notes strong and steady and really projecting them into the mic. The next, like, you've got singing down. Now it's time to move that into performing. I always recommend Chris Lipe's channel. I'll put his name in the chat. I watch his channel all the time to improve my singing. And he's good friends with my voice teacher, Lucas Magyar. He's the one who hooked me up with him in the first place. I highly recommend watching his entire channel to everybody who wants to improve their singing in any way. He has helped me so much. I can't express that enough. Highly recommend it. Awesome job, Juhin and Lopo. Amazing work. Next up, we got Killswitch with Slow Groovin'. This is a slow groove. Oops. Ah. Why'd that close? Sorry. Is this Cassette Girl? Yes. Who's that? Scarlet Bunny. Okay. Yeah, there's a little bit of overload from that second voice. It's kind of overpowering Cassette Girl a bit. It's all balanced. It's all taking the time to really make sure everything fits nicely within the mix. Sounds like Gempbot. It's good vibes. I'm waiting to hear if it goes somewhere else. We drop out. Cool. Yeah. I mean, this is solid. This is sounding nice. I think it's a balance thing. I think Scarlet Bunny's got to come down a little bit from there, but I think you're in a really good place with it. Next up, this is D.MP4 with 1v1. We got some electro house in here. This is my stuff. Wolfboy, guitar tabs are just sheet music for guitarists. Shows you how to play it. Angaku, this is a monthly thing. We're going to do it at the end of every month. I'd love to hear more effects risers in here and stuff. You can really add so much. You can cram it full of effects and like ear candy. Stuff should always be constantly building and evolving in a mix. Here we go. Okay, I will be honest, I wanted this to hit harder. Is this gonna hit harder in a second? I'd love to hear a more aggressive bass in here. Electro house is like, it's like dubstep but dancey, you know? And you want to hear really harmonically rich basses in this. It's cool. I love the composition you have in here. I think it's a sound design thing from here. I'd really listen to some electro house. Check out, let's see, I'm trying to think of my favorite electro house songs. You got Rock and Roll Will Take You to the Mountain. The first track off of Skrillex's first EP is amazing. Off of Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. That's not his first EP, but you know the one. Swerve by Excision is an amazing track. Power Glove by Knife Party. I would check all of these out for the kind of bass and just like full harmonic structure you want to be looking for. That timbre that's just packed to the gills. Next up, we got with Monin. Yes. Thank you. Boyfriend solo starts at 2:06. We don't want to listen to the full 5 minutes. First 2 minutes has girlfriend stuff. Okay, cool. We'll poke around this then. Thank you so much, Food. So yeah, this is a classic jazz tune, Monin. Specifically Leo P's version of it, who's a sick Barry sax player. And this has been transposed to Friday Night Funkin' music, which is cool. We don't hear a lot of jazz in Friday Night Funkin'. I love it. So here's where we get into the many questions of what you're going for, how well you're executing it, and then, like, for lack of a better word, what should be done, you know? Like, in this case, if we're doing jazz in Friday Night Funkin', do we... Like, I would take this and add like a beat behind it, you know? Or really, really emphasize the hit in those drums. Because right now, they're pretty far back there. And while I, as someone who knows this track, know what I'm listening for in that, a new listener, especially one who's not acquainted with jazz, isn't gonna know what they're listening for with jazz drums. Oh, that's sick. Damn. So sick. This is that solo. This is amazing. I love it. I love the transcription work. I love the soloing. This is so good. If you're going for the straight jazz approach, I would still have brought those drums forward a little bit. This is so smooth. I love it. Yeah, this is in that really tricky territory of like when you're really pushing genres, when you're doing big band jazz in Friday Night Funkin', there's certain things you have to like really, really look at and figure out what's going to translate really effectively to the genre. What can you pull across from jazz to meaningfully and authentically represent it in Friday Night Funkin', and then balance that with, what can you do that's authentic to Friday Night Funkin'? I love this. This is so good. That scream. That was amazing. Absolutely, absolutely amazing food. Everyone go watch the performance of Monin by Leo P. With the, especially the one at BBC Proms is really sick. Highly recommend. Next up is Coffee Bunny. I paused right on the splat. Hang on. The BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, people. Juhin, that sounded amazing. You did an awesome job. That's great. Oh, I love it. Awesome, awesome job. What do we got next? We got Coffee Bunny with Dropship versus Crewmate. Some Amogus. Yeah, mix feels maybe a little, it's a little overly compressed to me at the moment. So, I know I said before that I love, like, slamming a limiter on a mix and really pushing everything into it, but this is the kind of song that doesn't really support that. It's not full enough to survive a limiter in that way, and instead we just end up with stuff like, yeah, the reverb on the kick being brought out really loudly in a weird way, and the whole mix just kind of choking anytime anything hits. So I would lighten up on the limiter here, or take some time in your mix to figure out where you can carve out space so it's not all kind of stumbling over itself a little bit. Watch my video on EQ to really bring that out as well over on Quick Start Music. But good writing in there. I would love to hear a little bit more change between sections, but I know that's not common on Imposter songs. Next up is Jacob Peterson. Oh, we got Confronting Yourself. Okay. Oh. Vocals are very loud. I'll be honest, I can't really hear what else is going on. Yeah, kind of all I can hear is piano and the vocals. I think the chromatics sound awesome. The lead synths sound awesome. Whoa. It's been forever since I've listened to Confronting Yourself. I don't remember how it goes. I wasn't expecting Hill. Is that in the original song? I didn't think it was in the original. Let's skip forward. I want to see what else happens. Back to confronting yourself. Cool. I like how you just snuck too slow in the middle of that. That's fun. Next up, we got Seiji. This is Poisoner. Yeah, it's a nice round kick. FH something, what's up? Okay. I want to hear it go somewhere else, you know? We're kind of just hanging out in the same place, aren't we? Yeah, this is a song that's not moving a lot of different places. That's my criticism of it. Said first, for specific parts of the song, I know I struggled with the overlapping melodies. I'd like your thoughts on how the vocals mingle. I think they're mingling too much. I think they're mingling the entire time. You're doing nonstop overlapping vocals. You got to leave a little bit of space. You got to change up the amount of intensity in a song. It's just kind of hanging in one spot, one intensity level the entire song. You got to let the song breathe at points. Juhin, I said your vocals sound fantastic. I think the next step for you is really supporting your breath a lot more. And really projecting and performing your voice. You've got singing down, you've got the notes and the pronunciation down, and that's awesome. Your tone is there. Now it's just supporting it fully with your voice. And I recommended a YouTube channel to watch, Chris Lipe. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. Next is a work in progress from Loiha. A lot of imposter songs.
What the heck?
This is fun. I like this. We got chord progressions. This is good. Yeah, I'd say mix-wise, I would love to hear more of those guitars. Maybe a bit more aggressive of a bass tone. And man, I gotta be honest, I'm hearing that same. Like, there's more rhythms you can play on guitars, folks. Like, I swear we heard, You Can't Run and a few other, like, really we heard Discharge, and just everything sounds like that since then, rhythm-wise. Compositionally, though, this is really cool. This is good. I just want to hear different things from metal in Friday Night Funkin', please. This is nice. I like this section. Yeah, this is awesome. Great job. I would love to see a bit more fullness from the mix. You can look into stuff on URM Academy, Unstoppable Recording Machine. That's where I learned a lot of the metal mixing stuff I learned over the years. That's where I got it from, is URM. Nail the Mix, they also go by. Highly recommend checking them out. Next up is Darkstrap with Rush. is good. I really like the drum part. I think there could be a little bit of mixing work done here. That string's pretty loud. Or string and woodwind layer. You've got so many cool parts here. I love them all. I want to hear them all really clearly. From a mixing perspective, I would take some time with an EQ and really separate out different instruments as best you can. Watch my Quick Start Music video on using an EQ over on the Quick Start Music channel. And also watch the gain reduction video over there. It's called like the biggest secret in mixing or whatever. Gain staging is like the most important aspect of mixing that nobody talks about. It's just volume management over the course of your entire mix, and I think it's the thing that would help this the most. Just good gain staging. Yeah. Good stuff. Really good stuff, Darkstrop. Awesome work on that. Next up, we got Mr. Jam Dude with Supernova. Solid. There we go. Now it's a Friday Night Funkin' song. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of notes in here. It's not bad. It's not working. I would love to hear things other than just the bass and the A-man break. Oh, that little synth, that's fun. Okay, so when it comes to breakcore music like this, if you listen to the stuff that's like out there in the non-Friday Night Funkin' world, in the real genre of breakcore, you're going to hear a lot more evolution in the sound of the bass. It's not just going to be one ba note just holding, right? It's going to be evolving, and there'll be like cool timbral stuff happening within that. You need to take the time to really learn sound design and learn to build those sounds in ways that evolve and provide interest over time in the bass tone. And you need to then take that knowledge and apply that to everything you do in your mix. Every inch of your mix should be fascinating to listen to and packed with details that fit together in a perfect just tapestry of interesting stuff. Again, I'm going to recommend Andrew Huang's video on ear candy. I'll also recommend for sound design, check out Seamless R's How to Bass series and Virtual Riot's Studio Time videos. Those are all filled with absolute gold out there on YouTube. They are hugely, hugely interesting. Is it called breakcore because of the amen break? No. So actually, it has to do more with what are called break beats, which are when you take a drum break, although that's not where the etymology of the word is really coming from, and you take that beat and you break it up into pieces and then you rearrange them. So what might have been like you take that, you take little pieces, you chop it up and redo it to the point where it's like you know, you're really chopping it up and redoing it into different pieces, breaking it up and putting it back together. That's breakbeat. And then breakcore is a fusion of breakbeat and hardcore music. Dean is a drum kit now. No, I've just been a drummer for way too long, and I just that's just how we talk. Next up is Frost Sus. Wow. This is going a lot of places. This is going a lot of fascinating places. Oh, I want to put their name in there. I'm sorry. I mean, for us, this was wild. This was. You said you'd like to get feedback on how to make vocals sound more fun to play. Like, you wrote good music. That's what matters. That's the most important thing here. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think you nailed what you were trying to do. There's no... Okay, you don't think you're doing vocals correctly in a way that makes good gameplay. Good gameplay arises from good music in Friday Night Funkin', and you're doing that here. I like it. I would love to hear it longer. That was like a minute long. Take those concepts and develop them in a way that repeats. Good gameplay comes from knowing what's coming up just a little bit. A good Friday Night Funkin' song repeats a lot of sections, both because that sounds good to us as song listeners, like we're used to hearing a repeating chorus in a song, but also because it lets us know how to play it. We're like, oh, I played this in the last chorus. I know this pattern now, and I'm getting better at it. You want to have that repetition. So that's what you can do to make your song better to play, is repeat those sections throughout your song. Next up, we got Dull Plushie with insert name. What was that pitch bend on that? I love that. Okay, this is fun. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is solid. It's in the territory of, I would have loved to hear more different sections in terms of like intensity level going, but I didn't think it was bad. I thought there was some cool stuff in there. Yeah, I think just keep at it. Keep working on making more interesting songs every single time, and it'll keep getting better. That was good, Dull Plushie. Next up, we got Squishy Goose. That's a great name. This is also called Bread. Bread But Better is the name of the song. I didn't name it that, too OP. Mutated Potato? I think it is. I think that's the plan, yes. So I'm not hearing a defined chord progression. That's the first criticism that comes to mind of this for me. But like melodically, arrangement-wise, you got cool stuff going on here. I would also love to hear some changes in intensity level, some changes in the instrumentation, the chord progression, something to let me know we're going somewhere. Sometimes it's like when you're driving on a really long road for like hours and there's just nothing changing out there. It could be beautiful, absolutely gorgeous fields out there, but it's been the same thing you're seeing out there for 3 hours now, and you're starting to lose your mind. That's what a song that doesn't change is like. You know, when you're driving through a city, even if it's not like the best part of town or something, you can still look out the window and you see something new and interesting every few seconds. A different storefront. You know, the streets are changing from this point to that point. Things are different every moment. You want to keep things interesting and changing in your songs. Next up, we got Victini, aka Epic. What's up? You got some good 8-bit vibes in here. I like it. Okay, I didn't realize it was that short. Let me listen again. Yeah, you've got a nice little melody here. I like the phrasing on the vibrato on that. This is fun. From there, I would love to hear you go somewhere new as far as your starting chord goes. Because right now we're hanging out here. Right? But we've been here. We're always starting on this E flat. As a beginner, is this intro a bass line or a chord progression? Let's listen. I would say it's a chord progression that has a bass line. Your chord progression is it's called the Andalusian cadence in the key of E flat minor. But it's got this bass line. It's playing just like off notes. It sounds like right. The note is it was my quick start music videos that inspired you to start the song. That's awesome. Good. It'll sound different. There's no drums because the sound font you used had none. Cool. If you do, say, I'm bread. Yeah, there we go. I read the note. Yeah, this is cool. I would love to hear it go somewhere else because, like I said, we're starting on... We're always on E flat. You could go somewhere else. You know, you can really take it a lot of places. But you gotta go somewhere with it. Next up, we got Lord Bass W. Baswa. With the Undermine theme. Oh. This is beautiful. I've never played this game, Undermine, but this is beautiful. Yeah. Oh, God. Absolutely masterful work, Lord Bass W. Yeah, you have such a deep understanding of the orchestra. I can tell. You really got it. Mutated Potato. You should watch some tutorials by like Alex Mukala or any of the orchestral composers who are out there working with sample libraries. Because it's a whole other art form, trust me, and I don't really fully understand it. Love this piano. Woo! Yeah. Accordion. No one expects accordion. This song just took you on a tour of a whole town. You're absolutely right, Trev. That's exactly what it did. Ah. Gorgeous, gorgeous work. This is amazing. Thank you, Lord Baz W. Bazwa. This is awesome. Awesome stuff. Next up, Nitro Wraith with Star of Despair. That's a heavy name. I love it. Okay, so I've heard a lot of Nitro Wraith's music at this point. We've done a lot of feedback streams and stuff. I really think, Nitro Wraith, you gotta sit down and spend the time learning some theory and really transcribe some songs you love from scratch by ear. It's gonna go a long way. Oh my God, Yuri Chang, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. You are amazing. Thank you. Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, Nitro Wraith, I really think you've got so many ideas, and I think you know the pieces of what you're working with, but I think you really got to spend time learning how they fit together. And for that, I really think you need to sit down and remake some songs from scratch by ear and watch a couple theory tutorials. I would watch my How to Make Friday Night Funkin' Music video. Even if you don't plan on making Friday Night Funkin' Music video, it's really just like a basic music theory tutorial. I would start there. It's so important, and I think that's really needs to be the next step for you, Nitro. Good. We got Eddie the Weird Kid with a remix of Bad Time. Got some heavy hits. Yeah, I mean, it's hitting hard. There's some elements of the instrumental I can't really hear. Yeah, this is heavy. This is so good. Yeah, I mean, this is going crazy hard. I think you're in great shape. I think it's really subtle mixing things at that point, Eddie. You really, or Edie. You're really in good shape here. It's sounding great. Last up, we got The Power of Fresh with Oh My God. We got the power of fresh with Dear God Help Us All. Shimp Goober versus Genbot. Oh no. The song is called Gent Goober? Yes. Thank you for that. This is the perfect song to end it on. I didn't even plan this. Yeah, I mean, this bangs. This goes so hard. We got chord progressions, we got melodies. Is that intentionally the synth from the end of Big Arms? I love it. Yeah, I mean, Power Fresh, you really know how to write Genbot's melodies. You got it. Oh, it's my beatbox song. Oh my god. Listen, I don't remember songs I wrote this morning, okay? This is so sick. How does that sound exactly what Shimp Goober should sound like? Like, what's the chromatic? Who did that? And how did you make him sound the way he looks? I don't understand. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. Said gibberish into the mic and cut it up. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. This is so good. Please, someone explain Shimp Goober. Okay, sorry. Yes, one moment. I don't think I actually have a picture of him on my computer. I need to find him. Okay. So I'm going to explain Shimp Goober, and then I am going to give feedback on the song because I absolutely adore it, but I do have feedback. That's what we're here for, right? Okay. So, in the longest solo ever Discord, we were talking about like shrimp for some reason, and I think Manny called somebody a goober. I don't remember the context of it, but somebody mistyped the phrase shrimp goober was intended to be typed, but instead someone forgot an R, and the word shimp goober was instead typed, and so, you're gonna get jump scared by a ridiculous looking thing. I'm just warning you right now. So somebody was like, what does Shimp Goober look like? Sounds like some weird Star Wars character or something. And I was messing around a lot with AI art at the time. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna ask an AI to draw what Shimp Goober looks like. and so here's what Shimp Goober looks like according to AI. and I had forgotten about this. There was an honorable mention. There was another option, and that was this guy. This was almost Schimpfgoober, but this is so clearly Schimpfgoober. Am I wrong? So, and that was like it was like 3 months ago or something. I don't know. It was a long time ago for a really, really stupid running joke to still be going, but it's wonderful. So in listening to that song, I want to say, real quick, I think you've got a really, like, obviously composition, arrangement, spot on, absolutely killing it. From a mix perspective, I would love to hear more drums. I would really love to hear those drums hit harder, and I'd love to hear the rest of the synths mixed more like guitars. If you, like, I know they're not guitars, I know they're just like saw waves and stuff, but I think you could mix them more in the way I approach like metal guitars, which is what I do when I mix like EDM stuff like in Intruder. I'm mixing those synths like I mix guitars. I that's my only recommendation there. Amazing job. Fantastic work on that. Fantastic work to everyone who submitted tonight. If I did not get to you tonight, I'm sorry. I will, like I said, I'm going to set up some kind of priority system to make sure you have more of a chance next month. There is not going to be a part 2 of this stream. I'm only going to do one feedback stream per month. You're welcome to resubmit your same song the next month if you did not get into this one. Or if you did and you improved it and you want to resubmit it next month, that's totally cool too. All right. Awesome, amazing work, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you to anybody who super chatted or joined memberships or gifted memberships. You are all amazing. I can't thank you enough. There's going to be a video in the morning where we play a really, really fun rhythm game. I'm really excited about it. I'm playing a brand new rhythm game. It is a sponsored video, but I'm very happy to just share this. It's probably a game I would have played anyway. It's really, really fun. So y'all will see that in the morning. We're going to have fun. Xeno Killer, what's your question? What's up? You've been saying hello. Boy, I got a question. Just ask it already, Xeno Killer. Is it Hi-Fi Rush? It's not Hi-Fi Rush, actually. It's a different one. Xenokiller, I'm sticking around for your question. What is it? Good night, Lopo. For the love of God, Xenokiller, what's your question? How is your day? It's good.